Greetings, this is the voice of Shondell Granison Jr. I prefer to go by Jr. though. I'm going to talk about some print and web-based sources that are geared towards teaching strategies. The sites that I chose are going to be geared more towards mathematics, teaching mathematics due to the fact that I'm a middle grades math and education major at the Lovely School of Western Carolina University, home of the Catamounts. These strategies are also going to be geared towards ELL, which just means English language learners. Let's get started. As you follow along, I hope this is helpful. Oh yeah, the links to these will be posted below this video, but the first one we have here now. This first one is a book that discuss methods for teaching and properly assessing L2 students. L2 just means that they're second language learners. This book is mainly focused on the development of vocabulary and creating curriculum to help support the second language learners. On number 2 here, the second one, this right here is a journal from the University of Toronto in Canada. It was an experiment-based project based on integration of the second language learners into second language or foreign classrooms. There was some correlation between a written test that some of the students and some of the different foreign language speakers had to take, and those correlations suggested that the integration techniques has a few cons, but a lot of pros. The biggest con was the misinterpretation of the integration of belief. So now we're going to go ahead and continue on in this next one right here. So this PDF is a document that helps to provide teachers from Virginia with some information of second language accusation theory. This also provides information and instructions to help the LEP students with differentiation. LEP literally just means this right here where it says limited English proficient students. We're going to move on to the next PDF right here. This PDF explores different teaching methods to help middle school English language learners. This also talks about ways middle school math teachers can make accommodations for these students. The big idea is for teachers to stay open to the fact that these students are learning English. They should be open to the fact that students are still learning English and math at the same time. Now we're going to move on to the next PDF right here, which is Principle for Mathematics, Instructions for ELL Students. This one is just a PDF and instructions for some principles, followed by the Common Core. This also talks about principles pertaining to specific language and the terminology and all the uses and all the uses in mathematics. Let's go ahead and move on to this next PDF. Now this PDF starts out with a list of 49 strategies, and as you can see, these strategies go into depth, real good depth into what each individual strategy means and things of that sort. This is just a great site to be at. Let's go ahead and move on to a web-based, a web link one. This one right here. This is an online article that promotes the idea of progressive struggling. Like, this one is just basically saying that it's good or it's all right if a student is struggling while attempting to become proficient in the area of mathematics, because again, it's going to boil down to math always having its own different language. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one right here. Came from around the same site. It was just another hyperlink from that site, and this one talks about how this one is like a Yeah, this one is like an article based type of setup. And this one just pertains to specific strategies used to help inspire and motivate students to get engaged with mathematics. These strategies are geared more towards like high school students, like I told you at the beginning, middle grades education major, but I mean, never know where I'm going to be. So now, we're going to head over to this next site right here, and this one is just a website that has links that lead to specific ways of helping primarily students who speak Spanish. This website is broken down by specific parts of the curriculum in order to help focus the understanding of the concepts. This is geared more towards helping ELLs who speak primarily, whose primary language is Spanish, because this website is from Texas State University. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next one. And this web source supplies plenty of terminology and strategies and general information on like the rapid increase of ELLs within the U.S. This source also provides other links to specific information about teaching and what it's like to have to understand ELL students and just promote understanding. We're going to move on to the next one. This one right here, right? This one is another website that talks about different ways to teach high quality mathematics, and it goes into depth into like good ways of effective teaching, like the quality. So now let's go ahead and head over to the next site that I have. This one right here, it's just like a personalization. Personalization is like the key to teaching math. Every person learns differently, and this website discusses like different ways a math teacher could go about personalizing their own classroom. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on then. Students often struggle with math, so these strategies on this website is excellent for those who like never truly struggled in math, decided to teach it, and just couldn't wrap their heads around others not being able to like truly understand or truly comprehend what's happening. So this right here, it just promotes the idea of connection, and it's like basically saying don't be afraid to try to connect with your students. Like, you have to establish some sort of a bond, be willing to put yourself out there is what it's basically saying. Like, yeah, that's what it's saying. We're gonna move on to this next site here. Now, if you are keeping up, that's about 13 sources. We're entering onto our 14th one here. This one is just a very short article that highlights important information that teachers should know when it comes to teaching English language learners in math. There are some questions with answers provided to help like guide the focus of the information that's being conveyed. And we're going to head over to the last site here that I've pulled up. It's just this one was actually one of the better sites that I felt as though is one of the better sites, I should say, because like this right here, I identified it as an article, but honestly didn't know if I should say article or web page. But either way, it says that this article right here identifies the most common problems that L2 students encounters. Again, L2 just means second language learners. After identifying the problem here, the lady who wrote this name is Sarah Mills. She goes into depth on potential ways to solve or get through that specific problem. Again, language is just our greatest barrier. This article also has some more links related to teaching math to English language learners. Even more links in general of teaching and just like math strategies. Like here on the side, it tells you. There's also links for like teaching other courses. Also, like this was just a great site. I'm kind of upset that I found this site last because I could have definitely used this at the beginning. But yes, thank you for listening to my presentation and thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed. Okay, so I have noticed that like as I give my presentation and talk and everything, that there's this thing that pops up that says something about like a trial and all of that. Yeah, so my original idea and plan of using PowerPoint did not work out as I would expected it. So I had to download something quick so that I would be able to have this presentation ready. Please just pay that no mind. Like act like it is not there. But again, the link should be at the bottom, and I hope that you enjoyed the presentation. Yes. English language learners, math, and teaching strategies. That's what this presentation was about. Thank you again. La 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 la.